song was over quickly.
It was very quick.
I was busy contemplating life outside the window.
Yeah, gosh.
I was picking out, actually, which children down in the daycare that I wanted to steal and have for my own.
And now if you're sort of broadcasting that all over the area that you're going to steal a child?
Yeah, I won't probably steal them.
Okay.
But I mean, if one does get stolen, you can check with me first if you want to. I might be ready to give them back by then. There's just a really cute one down there. Like, really cute. I mean, they're all cute. But, like, it's warmish today, so a bunch of them have little bare feet. And their little fat toes are, like, toddling around in the yard. And it's just cute. And they have curly little hair.
They're small people.
I like
small people tend to be very cute. So we don't throw them off bridges. That's my theory.
Yeah, no,
you know,
all baby creatures have to be just ridiculously adorable.
Yeah,
or else they wouldn't make it through.
Yeah, we would not take care of them.
Childhood.
Imagine if babies were ugly. We just wouldn't take care of them.
Some babies are ugly. I'm like really impressed with like mama birds.
But they still act cute. Even if they look a little wrinkly.
You think baby birds are cute?
No baby people?
Right. I'm just saying that like mama birds must like have some sort of dedication because their babies are kind of not cute. Especially when they stretch their legs out and their big enormous mouths open and they're like, rah, rah, feed us. And you're just like, okay, all right, you're just so ugly.
I'm sort of impressed that you can make noises like that so early. I don't think I could. Although I was like making a sheep noise in the car on the way down.
All by yourself?
Yeah, because I was practicing just vocalizing in different ways to see what worked best. And the sheep thing actually worked pretty good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I will have to rush out of here right afterward because I think I have a sheep in labor. So I got to go and check on that. Because John's not around today. And I personally don't want to be all alone up to my elbows in placenta. But
understandable.
I may have to be.
I think you have very, very rational and normal concerns about your life.
Yeah, I'm getting really frustrated and annoyed, though, for like a bazillion reasons because so I was looking at my calendar today and one of my kids really likes that show Stranger Things. I don't know if you've heard about it.
No. Okay,
well, it's the hot new show. Season 3 is about to come out.
Hot.
My younger son does not watch it. It's not for him. It's scary, actually, and I don't really want my older son watching it yet either. But he doesn't watch it at my house, and so it's a cool show. John and I watched it, and we really liked it. But I just didn't feel like it was like
age appropriate.
Right. Either way, one of the main actors in this show is going to be at Dartmouth next weekend, and he's in lots of other things too. And I really appreciate him as an actor. And my son went ballistic when he saw this, and he desperately wanted tickets. So I got tickets, and then I looked. And I have 3 dance classes to teach right when that's happening. So it's they'll go without me. And then I'm looking at the calendar again, and my kids are doing this thing called Kids Adventure Games, which is it's like the baby version of Iron Man or Spartan Race or one of those crazy sort of obstacle course things. And it's a big deal to them. But I have a wedding on that day. I just started to get really depressed this week about the fact that since I work for myself and since I do jobs that can only happen on weekends and evenings, I mean, I can't teach dance in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. Nobody would come because they're all at work. So my work is the opposite hours of everyone else's work. And so I really don't have any social life and I really don't have any way to get...
There's so many people like that in the same boat. You're not alone.
Well,
really, there's lots of us. Nurses and people have to work odd hour, waitresses. I mean,
just always feels like whenever I look at my calendar and it's like, oh, here's this picnic. Oh, here's this event. Oh, here's this thing that we could go to as a family and have fun. And then it's like, no, mom has to work. Mom has to work. Mom has to work. Well, everybody else is in school or at work. I'm twiddling my thumbs. I'm not twiddling my thumbs. I'm getting stuff done, but...
All I can say is that since you have to do that, since there's no escaping, you should just make your work like play.
My work is kind of like play. I mean...
And that's why you work on weekends. For you in particular, we have jobs that we're willing to work on weekends to have the freedom.
I'm not really willing to, but I don't have any other choice.
It's too late to change the course.
Well, that's what I'm qualified to do, and that's when it can only happen.
Well, you qualified yourself to do that stuff. It wasn't an accident.
I know. But I guess back a long time ago when I qualified myself for it, I guess, didn't
think ahead.
Justify. I didn't have kids. I didn't have, a lot of things that make it very difficult to have these hours.
You need to go to Dairy Twirl.
Oh, I'm forcing John to take me out for a creamy tonight because it's the bad Friday. It's the Friday my dad. It's the Friday when I can't talk. Well, that's every Friday.
It's Space
Day. The Friday when my kids go off to visit their dad, so I feel lonely and bereft.
Yeah, so get a creamy.
So
I'll get one
I need
too.
A creamy really badly.
We should have this. Is
I have to go up there anyway.
We officially announced that it is Creamy Day today. So
yeah, it's no longer Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
It's Creamy Day.
Well, it's also Spacey Day. I felt I was going to say,
oh my God,
feel
I'm
spacey.
So spacey.
I'm spacey. And then I didn't know it was Star Wars Day. That just sort of, you enlightened me about that designation.
It's so spacey. Well, John was feeling so spacey last night.
Why are you spacey?
I don't know. I didn't get very much
going
sleep,
on?
maybe.
What is it?
John and Eli rented a really wonderful movie that was, had great reviews, but it was like a World War II movie, and as we all started watching it, Ira and I both looked at each other and said, we don't like this. This is too intense.
So you went and pet lambs.
We went upstairs and we read like an entire one of the Little House on the Prairie books because it was a really long movie. So
yeah, where they're like slaughtering cows and stuff.
No.
That was a nice change of
They weren't
pace.
slaughtering cows. I don't recall anyone slaughtering a cow in Little House on the Prairie. They do slaughter a pig once.
What's the
early
same
ones.
diff?
And they make a balloon out of its bladder.
Right.
And they kick it around like a little soccer ball.
And guess what?
What?
So I had a rehearsal up in Peacham.
Yeah.
And it was a fun music rehearsal, but we had to take a break so we could feed a baby goat a bottle.
Oh,
I thought you'd like that.
I do. Even if I don't like goats,
yeah,
I'll pretend that I like them for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, you like the idea.
Oh, I like them when they're babies.
Sure you do.
Everything is great when it's a baby.
This was the runt. So the
even
runt,
better,
because it was rejected by its mother,
oh
and so
God.
Ariel had to give it very special attention and feed it. And
is it a boy runt or a girl runt?
I can't remember, but the mother would like physically push it, like throw it, would pick it, would like grab it with her teeth and knock it across the barn.
Was there more than one? It must have had brothers or sisters.
Yeah,
and she liked them better.
Yes, there was a good one. There was the golden child.
See, goats are jerks.
Oh, stop!
Like grown up goats are
they're
kind of
just
jerks.
like people.
Well, grown-up people are often jerks.
Okay, but we somehow get around them.
We do.
I mean, I try.
I forgot my pen. I left it in the car.
Oh, do you need a pen?
No, I'm not going to take your pen.
Yeah, I like holding my pen.
I know you do, and I know that you can't talk if you
I can't if I don't have my pen. I was panicking.
And the spaciness will just be out of control if we wreck something like...
I know.
Oh yeah, so John was so spacey yesterday
that
he went and he went to the gas station and he went in and he paid for the gas and then he drove off without even pumping it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad that that's not just...
Wow, this is super contagious.
I do stuff like that. Like, I've been typing super fast and skipping words. Like, my brain is moving faster than my physicality is able to keep up with. And I'll just look down and I'll reread and there'll be just whole words missing.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, so I was pretty spacey last night. I'd been working on guitar parts for hours.
And then you're like, oh my God, this isn't even a guitar. It's a banjo. No. What?
No. Good guess, but that's not what happened. No, I went and got this guitar, and I was so excited. I was thinking so much about getting back to the microphone as fast as I could so that I wouldn't lose the idea, and I smashed the guitar into the door handle.
Oh my God.
And like put a big crack on the what do you call the top?
The top.
Yeah, big dent with a big crack. It actually cracked all the way through.
Your nice one?
I'm not going to say which one it is.
Oh my God.
I don't want to impugn any particular guitar manufacturer who might have caused this to happen. just by making such an amazing guitar that it would just have to be damaged, because you can't have something that perfect just stays perfect. That's the law of nature.
I think that, and everybody goes, if they go and buy a new car, which I've never actually experienced in my entire adult life, if you go and do it, you should just kick the crap out of it the second you buy it, so that you don't have to worry. You can just get it over with.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. Because I hate those people who
even
are like,
spill
don't
stuff.
Scratch this car, it's brand new.
Yeah. Spill stuff in it.
Just
like,
stop.
just take some, go get some Planters peanuts and just like dump
throw
them
it.
out.
Like, just throw it in the
and
car.
all the little dust.
No, just go get a little kid and just hand them a cup of yogurt or something.
You know, you can pick
like,
your nose and wipe the boogers under the seat.
Ew, no. All right, let's draw the line there, maybe.
I'm just in that kind of a mood today.
There are tissues in the world, but I know.
I was just kidding. I would never do that.
Oh, you're whacking your guitar story totally reminded me of we were doing a clogging show last week, and during intermission we snuck, or maybe it was just between acts, we snuck off of backstage to go out into the audience to watch, and it was kind of dark in the audience. But as I was walking down the side aisle I was going to go up to the balcony where my kids were waiting. As I was walking down the side aisle, I happened to see a couple that I knew sitting there near the edge, and I just went and like to pat the lady's shoulder, who was a friend of mine, and I was kind of like looking back and going like, hi, as I walked by. And as they're looking at me, I didn't realize that there was a post right in the middle of the little aisle, and so I just slammed full on into the post. Like, you know, here I'm tiptoeing in the dark between acts, trying to get to my spot, trying to say hi. Yeah. And then like a moron, I just like run into a post. Yeah.
Good going.
So that was awesome. Yeah. Is it raining?
More power to you.
It's not raining.
More acts of random self-inflicted violence.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
My ACL's going. That's exciting news.
No, it is not.
It is. It finally is.
Too young for that.
No, I knew.
Well, what can you do about it?
I don't know. I guess eventually I'm going to have surgery, but I've never had surgery on anything in my entire life.
You could just baby it, like
I'm a
really
dance
nice
teacher.
to it.
I can't. I knew years ago, and everyone who also is in the same field, because I was a professional skier, because I was a dancer, that my knees were going to leave me someday. Yeah. Luckily, it's just one. It's my dominant one that I've used the most. And it's been acting up for a couple weeks, and I know that's what it is.
My knee was acting up, but I got rid of the pain.
Oh, don't take ibuprofen anymore. I think somebody said it gives you like a heart attack or something today.
After you're done with that shirt, can I have it?
Yeah.
I love that color.
It's this color called red.
I know. I know. But I would never wear it out in public.
Why?
Because people don't expect to see. People would not recognize me if I had something that color.
I think you should just go crazy. This should be your year.
I
just
can't.
say, like,
I'm repressed.
I'm going to wear like a tutu on my head. I think you should do these things.
I don't think so.
I just think you could shake it up a little.
Well,
fashion-wise.
I don't know. I could just drink whiskey. Go back to drinking whiskey.
No, I thought you were waiting on that.
Oh, I am.
You're saving your whiskey
I am
self
saving
for someone.
I'm saving it for a special moment. Should that moment ever come, I will be ready.
Okay.
But if it never comes, that's okay too, because you can't like build your life around a special moment that may or may not come.
I know. I like to taste whiskey, but I don't really want to drink it. Like, I like to sort of stick my tongue in it and just taste the flavor, but I don't drink, so the drinking it doesn't really happen.
That's amazing that some people could just have that kind of relationship with a taste of whiskey, whereas other people...
See, I don't like beer and things like that at all. I don't like that taste.
Other people, that one taste would turn into destroying your life. Isn't that odd?
Huh, yeah.
I just think life is really unfair that way.
I don't like the feeling it makes when it goes down your throat.
Oh, guess what?
What?
They carded me at my bank. I don't know. I was just trying to make a deposit.
Your bank?
I was trying to make a deposit. I was trying
with whiskey? What are you talking?
No,
Why?
they gave me. Had a check. I was putting it in my bank account. I was giving them money, and they said, "Excuse me, can we see your identification?" What gives? What do I look weird? Is it because of this hip hop hat? This hip hop hat that I have.
Pretty hip hop.
I can't.
There's a fashion risk there that you've taken boldly.
Well, you know why? You know
why?
What
does it say again? The magic.
It says Magical Congress of the United States of America. I have no idea what. Oh,
it's Fantastical Beasts. See on the back? It's a movie.
Oh, it's
a movie.
Oh, you're right. Oh, okay. Well, somebody left it at my house.
It's cool on the front, but you don't probably want it to say Fantastical Beasts on the back because that's the name of the movie. So what you should do is take a black Sharpie and just go over those white letters so that it just is what it is on the front because that's way cooler.
Oh, because that kind of takes away from the hip-hoppiness of it?
This is
the front's cool, but the back is not cool.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And most everything in life you can fix with a Sharpie.
Yeah, I tried to change the color of my couch with Sharpies.
Oh.
I bought a whole pack. I did. I'm serious. It was this ugly orange color that somebody had given me this couch, and I hated the orange color, and so I got red.
You can't. I'm sorry. As much Sharpies. As I love Sharpies, you can't.
It worked okay. Probably poisoned my children.
Did you, when you were sweaty and you sat on it, did it come off on your
I'd never
butt?
sat on it. I just looked at it.
Oh, huh. You colored a couch with Sharpies?
Yep.
I'm actually just stunned right now because I
I
really wish someone had documented this process of you like kneeling through the night and scribbling.
My kids might remember. But guess what? Sharpie doesn't last forever. The couch is now orange again.
You can get Sharpie off with hand sanitizer. That's
a
little household hint.
That is something I would not do, and I would document somebody doing that, taking Sharpie off a couch with hand sanitizer.
No, not off a couch, just off like anything.
That's low.
Yeah, I guess.
That's like kind of what do you call it? Like white trash behavior. Using hand sanitizer instead of like
it's
I
like
don't know.
on the Pinterest like household section Yes, it is. I pinned it once. That's how I know it.
What?
Because sometimes you get Sharpie like on your pants or something, and I guess maybe you can get it off with hand sanitizer.
But who has hand sanitizer?
I have some in my bag at the moment.
Don't.
Yes, I do, because after that flu incident, I got a little bit.
That stuff kills all the good germs.
I know. I just didn't want any. I don't trust. I have little trust.
Why don't you get tea tree oil? Get something made from fungus or some special leaf from New Zealand. That is very powerful.
Maybe
and magical.
I guess vinegar kind of works too, right? I don't know. Or just plain old rubbing alcohol.
You know
what all hand sanitizer is like rubbing alcohol, right? In a gel base of some sort.
No, it's way more.
No,
it's got evil doers in it, mushed up.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of pens, though, yesterday I had to coach the fitness competition in Norwich University for my kids' school. All kids from all schools come, and when you get there, you got to be walking around all day from big arenas to field houses and blah, blah, blah. So you don't bring anything really with you that you're going to have to carry because you don't want to carry it. You bring a backpack with like water and food and stuff.
But don't like bring your guitar.
Right. And I just didn't even bring my purse because I'm like, I don't want to have to lug this thing on my shoulder while I'm hiking around this campus. So they give you a manila envelope with all these scorecards, and in the manila envelope is a pen that you have to use for the day. And these competitions are like really fast paced, and each coach is in charge of like 6 or 7 kids, and you got to write their scores down as they come up fast on these scorecards. And it's fast. And so it starts to happen, and I get the pen out of the manila envelope that they gave me, and the pen doesn't work. The pen does not work. So I'm like, I'm trying to keep, and they're calling out these scores, and you got one chance to like write these down. It's supposedly very important.
Man.
And my pen doesn't work. So I'm just trying to gouge the paper deep enough so that I can see the marks so that I can write over it again when I can find a pen that works.
That's what I like about the strolling of the heifers. Like, you don't have to keep score down there.
That's true. This was less strolling.
You just get to watch cows go by.
And more hectic, and it was just a terrifying experience to have a pen that didn't work when you needed one really fast to write down something important. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get my side organized.
I see what you're doing now.
Because things are disorganized. Mm-hmm. I have this feeling that life is going to be
we've got some really tangled cords
today.
here today, too. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah,
There's some extra broken headphones over there.
The good thing is that we promised everybody last week that we were going to say who our sponsors were.
Oh, we didn't even say who we were yet, though.
Okay, so we're going to say the show name.
11th Hour Radio.
We're going to say who we are.
Is this a quiz?
No, I'm trying to
Emily
prompt
Howe
you.
and Kristina Stykos. Okay. Well, this is a good way to do it. Okay, keep going.
And we are at a radio station broadcasting live from
South Royalton, Vermont. Royalton Community Radio. WFVRLP 96.5.
And we have special sponsors.
Oh, what?
There's a few that are Todd-based.
I think we should, but I can't remember all the Todd-based ones.
Okay, let me do that.
I can remember Mountain Folk and Tunbridge Grease Collective. Those are Todd's.
And the painting company.
But what is it called? I forgot already.
Todd's Painting Company
It's
is
not
fine.
called Todd's Painting Company.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
It's called like Green Mountain.
If you need someone to
Painting or
paint your
something.
house, call Todd. No, I'm not supposed to endorse him.
No.
I can say what he does, though. He paints houses.
Yeah. And from
I'm
the looks
sure-
of him when he shows up here, he's really getting the paint on the house and not so much on himself because he's vaguely clean. I mean, he's got a few paint speckles on him,
Yeah.
but he's not too. He's not
And he's
like
not
too painty.
greasy. He's not greasy. So that grease from the Grease Collective does not get on him either.
Right. He is kind of mountain folky.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not all of our sponsors. We're also sponsored by
The grilled cheese place.
Five Old Tavern and
Not.
Grill. And,
Where you can't get a grilled cheese. So
And-
don't even ask.
oh my gosh, but the chimichangas are good. And we're not supposed to be endorsing.
No, I'm just
We're not
saying. No, I
endorsing.
think it's important to just know what you can get, what you can't get, so that you ask for the right thing when you
can
go there.
get
That's
a
just objective.
pretty
That's not a
awesome
plus or a
chimichanga,
minus.
which I love. But and Howeville Farms. Woo! No, is
Yeah.
there one more? I'm forgetting somebody.
No, that's it. And he doesn't know that he's our sponsor. Rob doesn't. But I told him, so maybe he
that
knows.
seems wrong. Why would you not know if you're somebody's sponsor?
Because he's too busy to listen to the radio. He's a farmer.
I know, but I'm
He
a
should
farmer
have it
and
on
I'm
in the
on
barn,
the radio.
but maybe he doesn't spend a lot of time in the barn. I don't know. The cows should
spends
at
a
least.
he spends a lot of
You
time
know,
in
you
the
can
barn.
at least put the radio on for the cows. You know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of people put radios on
people
for cows.
do, so he should have it tuned to Royalton
Sheep
Community
too.
Radio.
They actually seem to. Studies have proven that they like classical music better, though. So maybe
and talk. I think they'd like talk,
they might like
especially
talk.
the things we talk about.
Yeah, but we often sound very agitated.
No,
and
we don't.
We're
Not to
going to
a
make
cow.
milk production.
No, a cow would like that because it would take their mind off what's being done to them.
Nothing is being done to them most of the time.
Well,
they're just standing
being
around
kept-
chewing their
yeah,
cud.
but they're being kept in a perpetual state of, lactation.
Okay, are you going to be a vegan now?
No, I'm just trying to be objective.
I kind of liked my perpetual state of lactation because I had boobs, and that was fabulous.
I think we should go to a break now.
I started talking about my boobs, and you want to go to a break?
I just think it's right to
Okay.
not talk about that stuff right now. Maybe later. Rain
All right.
check.
What are you going to play?
Because
then?
I was actually going to talk about something similar. We could put all those things in one
Okay.
section of the show.
All right, rain check on the boobies,
Okay.
and you play something.
Okay, we're going to play this is an apropos. It's a song called Dance Hall Girls.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, this is Robert Resnick.
Those dance hall girls, they'll treat you fine. They'll give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their minds. They'll fill you up with a lipstick lies, and they'll fool you, boy, so you better not be surprised. 'Cause that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. Well, I dug her mountains and I touched her plains. Basked in her sunshine, I got soaked in all her rain. I tried to be her lover, but I couldn't even be her friend. Thought I picked a winner at last, but it came out last again. And that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they called it sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. I tried to get a letter home, but that takes time, you know. I wanna get some money, I wanna go back home. 'Cause those dance hall girls can't stand to see a man alone. And that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they called it sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. They'll give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their minds. They'll fill you up with a lipstick lies. God, those dance hall girls sure can make a man feel alone. That's the way it always is here in Baltimore. That's the way it always is here in Baltimore.
Yeah, little song about Baltimore. I forgot that was about Baltimore. I don't know. I've never been to Baltimore.
I think I have. Forgettable, I guess.
Maybe on a Greyhound. Maybe I've been to the Greyhound station.
Or through.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of Greyhound stations in my life.
I really like the Greyhound logo. It's just classic.
It's kind of cool. It's like the, Pegasus logo that we love with this winged Pegasus for mobile.
Yeah. I don't technically care for gas, but...
Yeah, I know. But do you
like
like buses? Do you like buses? I mean, you like dogs, but do you like buses?
Yeah, not that much, but
yeah,
kind of. It's kind of neat. I mean, buses, really, you could look at them in the same category as your train, love. They take people places.
I used to feel that way. I used to love to hop on a Greyhound bus. I don't know, I just kind of lost my taste for it. Maybe bus culture changed a little bit, got a little nastier.
Yeah, my grandparents, who are elderly, were on a bus a few years ago, and somebody pulled a switchblade on the driver or somebody. I can't remember exactly the story. I mean, it all ended well without any injury, but it was not a pretty...
You don't want to sit in the back.
Why?
Because stuff goes on back there in the back of the bus. You know what I mean?
Just like
drug
a school
deals
bus.
and things, and people do things. I don't know. It's just better to sit up in the front. It's safe. You can. I always like to be near the driver and just have this kind of inner bonding with the driver. Then I feel safer. I feel like the driver's taking care of me.
Yeah, whenever I chaperone school trips, I feel like that's adult land up there, and I get on and I just get right behind the driver.
Yeah.
That's not true. During the ski bus trips, I always have to go somewhere in the back because otherwise it's just
Mayhem.
rowdy and somebody has to be back there yelling at them.
Exactly.
But if I had my way, I would just be right behind the driver too.
Yeah.
I may have to take a bus everywhere soon. My car is about to die. And two mechanics have looked at it now, and one says the head gasket's going and the other says the clutch is going. And I actually think that they're both right. So that's troubling.
Ow.
And so I'm now in the market for another horrible used car that will live a year and then die on me. So if you hear of anything.
Okay. Don't get me started on that subject. But, okay, I need your advice.
Sure.
Okay, I'm thinking of going backstage at a big show to see somebody I know. And I'm having that trepidation about going backstage and that whole experience of awkwardness that one feels when you're there.
All right. Well, you need something in your hands, first of all.
Okay, pen. Actually, a pen and a clipboard wouldn't be bad. But
Are you going to interview somebody?
No.
Well, clipboard seems, well,
That's over the top.
maybe. But you want some casual thing, like something that you were already doing, so it doesn't look like you're just coming backstage to come backstage. Like, it wants to be more of a spur of a moment thing. So you should be carrying either like, a pen and some books or something.
I could bring cookies. I could bring, say, like some cookies. Like I could bring something to give to anybody who is there, that to break the ice.
That seems a little awkward too, though. I just
want to have a good time. I just want to connect with the one person that I know and not have all those nervous feelings about the ones that I don't know who are famous.
Well, all right. Well, you could be carrying.
I don't think you've done this. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I have, but I don't know. I just carrying something always helps me when I'm in an awkward or nervous situation.
Okay. All right, I guess you can apply it sort of to the wider sphere of just what to do when you're feeling kind of out of place.
I hate the sort of, checking your cell phone culture, but that saves a lot of people from awkward situations.
But that would be so awful backstage.
I know.
To have made it backstage and then to start looking at your phone. Ugh, I just feel like a real loser.
All right, well then.
No, I think bringing something and not something like sometimes in the past I've brought CDs, like my own CD as a kind of, because you always want to get your own music into the hands of the famous people.
Right.
But I don't want to do that anymore. I hate that. That's awful. So that's why I'm thinking cookies might be better. Just something to share, something special, something from Vermont. How about maple syrup?
Yeah, little
I could
maple
get some
syrups.
little maple syrups.
The little teeny cute ones. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or honey.
Honey, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess.
I'm just saying, you got to have some object to keep your hands. It's hands that belay our awkwardness.
Yeah.
More than our faces and anything like that.
I don't know. My face is pretty bad.
See, whenever I feel awkward, I suddenly don't know where to put my hands. So I alternate between stuffing them in my back pockets, crossing them, trying to let them swing naturally as I'm walking, which suddenly feels like a giant chore. Like, where do I put my hands normally when I'm not nervous?
Do you know what I'm thinking now?
What?
I think I just shouldn't go.
No, what? Oh, a mug of tea. Keep that in one hand because it's totally cash. Like, I'm walking back here with my mug of tea and some cookies.
Uh-huh.
So you're clearly not starstruck because you've got your tea. But you've got cookies because you're nice.
Okay. Like I fresh baked them.
Yeah.
Then I will. I mean, if I'm not going to lie about that, I'm not going to give them...
You can put raisins in them? Don't do that.
Of course not.
Okay. All right.
We've been through this all week.
I know,
We've been
but
talking about this.
You like raisins. And
no,
some people do like raisins.
I think they're okay. My preference is not an oatmeal raisin cookie. It's an oatmeal raisin cookie with apples in it.
No.
With chocolate chips.
I love apples. I love oatmeal. I just don't want them baked in cookie. If you want a cookie, you want a cookie, man. You want something unhealthy and delicious. Okay? I don't mean healthy and delicious.
Well,
I mean unhealthy and delicious.
What I feel about that is if you want something delicious, you don't need a cookie. You have a brownie.
Right. Well, without nuts. You don't want those little suckers surprising you. I know.
Okay.
You want the nuts.
We can feel differently about some things in life, and that is one of them. I did want to tell you about this new company in Vermont. So I want you to guess what they do. All right,
Are you going to tell me anything else about them?
No, I'm just going to tell you the name of the company and see if you can figure out what it is that they do. Okay. It's called Myco Evolve. MycoEvolve. Myco Evolve. And I'm going to give...
It sounds really sciencey or techy.
Yeah. Okay, here's the opening sentence of their page that describes who they are. It says, quote, "Our original ancestors were fungal
mitochondria."
Yes. Our original
Sorry.
Our original ancestors were fungal beings partnered with cyanobacteria. This is a company that makes and installs fungi.
Yeah, I guess you can get them for your septic systems and stuff, right?
Sure.
No, if you want them to like eat away at your like overflowing poo or something.
Yeah, you can if you want, if you need that.
No, so I think some people put them in like garbage disposals, or maybe you can put them in your compost to help it go faster. Or it's a good idea, but it's also like you're monkeying with things again. It seems like GMO-y. I mean, I know it's not, but it's like introducing, what kind of bird was it that came here a long time ago for some play, and then they let them out in Central Park, and now we have them everywhere? Starlings.
Oh, yeah, I see your point.
Like, we always think that we're doing the right thing by, like, let's bring a giant truckload of little fake ladybugs here from China to eat the other bugs. And then something happens and it gets out of control.
These are mycorrhizal. Is that how you say that? Mycorrhizal nutrients?
Well, they're mitochondria. And they look like little hydra. They look like...
Okay.
If I can remember my 7th grade science report, my lab report on them, which I always got terrible grades because I didn't want to write the whole lab report, but I made very elaborate, beautiful covers, and I drew the mitochondria, and I drew them as if they were in a comic book, so they were saying things to each other. So I kind of remember these mitochondria things.
You know, I must be psychic that I picked this topic to talk about, not knowing consciously that you had this deep relationship with the subject. I had no idea. And I think you're going to be very interested to know that this company, they get grants, they work in labs up at UVM, and they're a really reputable company that uses sound scientific methods and so on.
Right, but is it really ethical to introduce something to where something isn't?
Well, here's the point. Is that when I went and looked at the biography of the lead researcher on the soil project, she listed herself not only as a soil researcher, but as a priestess. Well,
my grandfather, who just passed away last year, was a soil scientist, and he did not also call himself a priestess.
Well,
but he was Catholic, so...
Yeah, so he couldn't have called himself a priest. But I thought that's interesting that can be in a biography today. You can just kind of slip that in, like, educator, soil scientist, priestess.
Can you say like nudist and moon worshiper and things like that?
Probably, but
like on your LinkedIn profile or whatever.
Well, you could.
So you don't even have those anymore. I need to shut mine off. It's so stupid.
I just who just linked with me?
Who?
The guy,
not me, because I haven't even paid attention to it for like an entire year.
The owner of Bove's Italian restaurant.
Wow.
I'm related to the Boves. My Italian side is related to Bove. We have Bove in our past.
Wow.
So I think that's probably what it was all about. He knows. We're connected. But let me just tell you, I looked up the word priestess because I knew you'd be interested in it. It's
kind of more of an Egyptian.
You're right. Oh God, you are so connected to the universe in ways that I I can only aspire to. Really, because I looked up the high priestess. I know we were talking about tarot, and you thought it was creepy, and then I thought, well, I'm going to prove to Emily that the tarot is not that creepy, and so I found the high priestess card, and I looked it up, and it is based on the high priestess card represents either the Egyptian Black Isis or Sophia, the Greek goddess of wisdom. So that's nice. That's a nice thing.
I'm not saying it's not.
You like wisdom.
I'm not saying that's not nice. I just think tarot in general creeps me out.
Well,
it's from my mom, though. My mom made us terrified with like Ouija boards and stuff. Is that how you say it?
Oh, that's smart. That's different.
But tarot cards seem kind of along the same lines. Like it's monkeying with.
Except look at this. Look at it this way. The Ouija boards are not. There's nothing beautiful about a Ouija board. It's very utilitarian. It's like I don't know. What am I thinking? It's like
Chutes and Ladders for like creepy people.
Well, I have a nice Chutes and Ladders game.
I did.
Very
I don't know where it
artistically rendered.
Before that, did you have Snakes and Ladders ever?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But what I wanted to say is that the tarot cards are very beautiful. The original paintings that are on them.
Okay.
But there is a rock band, a Canadian rock band named Priestess.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about them, but
Oh, you might like them.
They're Canadian, so I'm sure they're lovely.
Oh, I can see. You're fascinated with this topic.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at my list to make sure that I don't have anything to relate to that topic while we're on that topic.
Yeah. Well, you get 10 points for your relationship with fungi, so
no,
that was heavy duty.
You're the one with the relationship with fungi. Remember that video we made like 2 years ago? You literally talked about fungi.
Yeah, I am a fungi.
For like 10 minutes of it.
I know. I relate to it directly. But it is time for another song.
Okay.
So we're going to go to, let's see, this one, which we were having a kind of a discussion about whether this is an FCC violation, this song that has a word that starts with B.
We don't really know. Kristina was going to apologize ahead of time, but
I don't
feel
think
like
it is. This word is not...
admits wrongdoing.
No, it's not like the S word. There was another song that has the S word, and we're not going to do that one. But this has the B word. And I think it's just fine. It's not, and so I do apologize in advance if anyone is offended by the word. It's just in pretty wide usage these days. Just, the word that has to do with the female dog.
Yeah, I've even posted a Zumba meme that
had the word
says "Let's Zumba," BITCHES.
Yeah.
Why?
Biatches.
S. Why did I add a Y to that?
Because
I can't spell out loud. This is why whenever you give me a spelling challenge, I have to write it down because I can't spell out loud.
Here, take my pen.
I already, everyone knows the word I'm trying to say, so I don't have to
you don't have to spell it out.
I'm good. You keep your pen.
All right. Well, here we go.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Here we don't go. It's the pie pad problem.
Oh, my God. It's going.
She's got a brow and a permanent scowl. Mood swings from wretched to foul. Offer to help, she'll have a cow. 'Cause the bitch just doesn't know how. She's been doing it alone for years. Hates the idea of wasting those tears. 'Cause the bitches got burned again and again. Got everybody fooled, she doesn't give a damn. Avoids company like a plague. Thinks everyone around her is a fake. Feels loneliest of all in a crowd. Won't ever share her thoughts out loud. 'Cause she's been doing it now for years. What's the use in wasting those tears? Not gonna get burned again and again. She fools herself, she doesn't give a damn. Till the lights go out, feel that aching chest. Memories knocking about, not gonna let her rest. And don't you know, yeah, you should know, that bitches cry too. They do. Bricks and stones will break her bones, but love will take her down. She's built her world to be alone, no use in coming round. That icy glare is her decoy. You can't toss her heart like a toy. Her shell will shatter like glass, but you can't catch her, she's too fast. 'Cause she's got it down now for years. Ain't gonna waste any more tears. 'Cause she's not gonna get burned again and again. She's nobody's fool, she doesn't give a damn. Till the lights go out, feel that aching chest. Memories knocking about, not gonna let her rest. Don't you know, yeah, you should know, that bitch cry too. Yeah, bitches cry too. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, that was Bitches Cry 2 by Ariel Zevon. So,
And you, too.
yeah,
Well.
so if, I don't know, do you have something you wanted to bring up right away?
No,
Because I wanted to talk about work habits,
that's
which
totally
I know is
fine.
a fascinating topic for people.
Absolutely.
They're jumping up and down on their chairs right now because this is like, wow, they're going to talk about work habits. Well, anyway, here's my query for you. I had a long day in the studio yesterday, and my friend was around, and when I came down to dinner, he looked at me and he said, "You're tired." And it was true. It was true. But you know what? There's a part of me that gets really irritated. I wasn't done, you know. And I mean, your friends say those kinds of things because they care about you and they look at you and you're like obsessively working yourself into a crisp. But I looked at him and I was feeling a little irritated at the comment, and I said, well, I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. You know,
right, Kristina.
And
That's a meme. I've seen it.
really? Mm-hmm. Well, it came out of my mouth, and I felt like I was being a little bit like rude or insensitive because he was just being caring. He was just caring about my condition. And so I made an appointment with myself to think about it later and think about the fact that, do I work myself too hard? Because I do always go past that point of, wow, I'm really tired, but I got to keep doing this so that I can get to the end of whatever it is I'm doing before I go to bed,
I know.
It's a little obsessive.
I usually am the same way, although lately I got a big deadlined piece into my editor 2 days late this past week, which is exactly what happened with my taxes as well. But my editor is a little bit nicer than the government, so I'm sure she'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
But I never used to be this way. I was an obsessively prompt person too, and my work habits are I don't know if they're getting worse or if I just have added too many works.
Well, you're right in the thick of like parenting kids who are transitioning from childhood to teenage.
I tend to bite off more than I can chew often, and then I stress out if I can't produce like everything.
Well, there's part of me that just feels like there's no other way to do great things. That you can't really make amazing stuff that's a cut above the rest if you don't push.
Yes, and you also can't make a living in Vermont unless you bite off more than you can chew. I mean, someone released a study about how many hours people have to work just to afford, a really basic, maybe 2-bedroom apartment. And in Vermont, it's something like 80 hours a week to be able to afford that.
Yeah,
at a sort of minimum, hovering around minimum wage.
Exactly, and that's not really taking into account those of us in the creative fields,
right?
Of
Who, by the
endeavor.
time you iron out all the hours you put into one of your projects, you've made about 27 cents an hour. And
yeah, but you're not really gonna get anywhere ever just in relation to your own work. I mean, if you're serious about your work and you want to just get to your kind of highest level of not only skill but creative expression, then you just have to do it regardless of what else is going on. You just have to keep doing it. It's such a habit for me now because I can't turn back. I sort of made this decision a long time ago.
Me too. I threw all my energy into these creative fields. I don't have other skills. I don't have a skill set like normal people.
I know.
I don't
either.
I don't have, a business degree. I don't have, accounting skills. I don't have any of those things where I could just go pick up a job at, say, here at the law school or at some other,
I can't get a job.
I just don't have those skills.
I look sort of overqualified for something on paper. Like it's not, I don't have any skills that relate directly to anything
I know.
other than
Me
what I
too.
do creatively.
And
so,
I'm a writer, so I can make a resume look pretty fabulous, but it's not
Yeah.
going to get me anywhere in the
I know.
in the job force.
and then
of regular
they see
folks.
that when they see that you've been running your own businesses, they
Right.
don't really want you because
Right.
people with that entrepreneurial spirit are not the best employees. So you're
No.
going to go to the bottom of the list immediately, and they say, well, maybe if we're really desperate, we'll look at this
If
candidate.
I didn't
but
work
not-
for myself out in the real world, I think. Let's see. I could be a cashier. I could be a waitress. I probably couldn't even be a cashier because I'm so horrible at math. Did I tell you the story about when I was in high school? Every day after high school, I worked at the general store in Tunbridge, and weeks went by, and finally the owners approached me because they thought I was embezzling every day. Because their books were not showing up with what the cash register was ringing in, and they just, and we were friends, like they were good friends with my family, and they didn't want to think that I was stealing from them,
Yeah.
of course, and they knew me, and they knew that I wouldn't, but something was going on. So they just watched me for a while, and they realized that my math skills are so terrible that I was pushing in. All the money was, of course, all accounted for. I was pushing in everything wrong on the cash register because I just didn't understand
how to
and I'm just
add.
not. Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
I'm so bad at math that
Yeah.
my making change
You know-
skills are all backwards.
You know what I'm good at? I can
What?
file really well.
Ooh. I could be a waitress,
I
but I
could-
don't think I could be a waitress. I'm really clumsy.
Yeah, I couldn't waitress anymore.
And I don't think I have the right attitude to just be, I don't know. Waitresses are just like this sort of shoot the messenger person. Like if your food's bad, it's the waitress's fault. And like it's not actually. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
We don't.
that's how
We
everyone
don't need
behaves.
that. We don't need that kind of stress in our lives.
I mean, but what else could I do?
you could filing.
I don't think, Kristina, I don't think people file anymore.
Oh, you're right.
It's all digital.
Wait a minute. There's still some paper.
I mean,
There's
I
some
do
paper.
substitute teach. Although this winter I didn't almost, I don't think at all because I was just sick.
What about electronic filing? Doesn't that sound good?
I don't think I know how to do it. I'm like I could if we lived in a area where there was like factories or manufacturing, I could like stamp something 27 million times a day.
Yep.
I could check. I don't know.
I can put stuff.
My skill set is not what people are looking for.
I know. I put stuff away.
Wow. Oh, I could maybe I could be a cleaner. Maybe I could be a nanny. These are all the things that I did when I was a teenager, though.
I promised I wouldn't snort.
Why
just
what are you snorting about?
I
What?
just snorted.
I didn't hear you snort.
I thought of a new word, snorful. But go ahead.
Oh, that's not a new word.
Snorfel? It is
Yeah.
so.
No, I say that about my dog all
That's
the time.
chortling, snorting,
No, I
and
say
snuffling.
Well, maybe it's not a real word, but I say it. Lots of people say it. I've heard them about dogs when they get their little wet nose kind of into your armpit or something. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're good at I'm just trying to think of what, like maybe I could write your resume for you. And I could think of all the things that I think you're good at.
Yeah, but they don't translate to like real world things that other people
You
want
could
from me.
you could build benches.
I'm really not good at that. Yeah,
With a
I
little
could be.
help
I
you
could be like
can.
a unskilled
You
laborer
just need
at
help
some
and
sort of
encouragement.
construction site. I guess like I could be the one who sweeps up the sawdust.
You're a great like assistant lamb breeder.
I could work at a farm. That's true.
You could shovel,
I can milk cows. I can
Manure.
do those things. I can shovel manure.
I'm pretty good at that too, actually.
Well,
I don't have qualms about that.
no, it doesn't even really smell bad.
Well,
to me.
anyway, I'm good with clippers.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that for a living, so I do
right.
clip
I could
stuff.
help. I could
clip
help
stuff.
clip dogs.
You could clip dogs.
Or
I don't mind
something.
clipping bushes.
Or bushes.
I like cutting stuff.
I
I
could
like
mow lawns.
I like raking. I like raking with a real rake. I don't like leaf blowers, but I'll
Right,
rake
but
with a rake.
so as we get up in years, though, okay, now you have to eliminate like half of those things because
I will
once my
not.
knee goes, I'm
I'm-
not going to be shoveling manure or raking or any of those things. Like what
Well, fine pruning. You don't have to move a lot.
I could do that from my wheelchair.
Yeah,
Right.
you could prune rose bushes. We could just go into that rose
Isn't
pruning.
it just really
Start a
sad
whole
though that
company.
everything that maybe we could do out in the real world is worth like
it's not valued.
it
has no
in the single digits
there's
per
no
hour.
marketplace value.
That makes me really sad.
I know, and
because-
all that special love and attention that we would give to any menial task. I mean, we give so much of ourselves into the most minute, ordinary things. And that should count for something.
I could probably paint houses, I guess.
I could, except for the toxic smells.
Oh, yeah. And I don't like to be up high. I can't be up high. I get dizzy and I'll fall off.
I like repetitive work. I like stuff where you're doing the same thing over and over, especially if I can listen to a podcast.
There's a great scene in an I Love Lucy episode from years ago. And actually, I don't love Lucy. I hate Lucy. But
Just as
I
an
like this
aside.
scene because she is working in a chocolate factory and the little conveyor belt is going by and she has to make sure that all the chocolates look good, but she's just stuffing them into her mouth as fast as she can. So her little cheeks are bulging like a chipmunk, and she's just stuffing in the chocolate.
She can work for me.
Yeah, I would like to.
I like that spirit.
Chocolate factory, but
I like taking advantage, like seizing the moment, and then getting fired. I'm all for it.
I've never been fired. Oh no, I think I did get fired once, but it
Have I been
wasn't. It wasn't my fault. The firing was that I came as a pair with another person who did get fired, and so I technically wasn't fired. I chose to leave with the person who did get fired.
Good for you. Solidarity, that's called.
It wasn't good, actually. It was stupid. I should have stayed at that job and let the then partner just be a dick and go on its way. But
Yeah. You just said Dick.
it's a person's name,
You could have said Richard.
right?
It's okay next time. There's always a second chance
That's
for people
true.
like you.
Tomorrow is always fresh. There's no mistakes in it.
Yeah. Now, I think we have to wind down.
What?
We have 2 minutes to go.
Oh my god.
And
I didn't tell you about my bowling accident or my new oven.
your bowling accident?
or toads. I didn't tell you about frog eggs and
No, you had your chance.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I must have hogged the show.
No, it's fine. I just actually made a substantially longer list than the
We'll save
usual
it for next
scribbled
week.
napkin.
That means next week you don't have to make as big of a
That's
list.
true.
You
That's
can
true.
you can just kick back a little bit.
Okay.
And
We were supposed to not even be here this week. I was going to have a sub come in for you, but for me, but it didn't work because all my cars broke and everything broke. So
yeah, it's hard. But
no vacation for me.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today. We just so much enjoy being here. It's like a touchstone for the week, and you make it possible. If you missed this, go to the podcast places to find us.
Like our website, 11thhourradio.com, or you can subscribe on iTunes or Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
No, Apple Podcast
correct.
is iTunes. I meant to say YouTube or...
Well, but it's good. I like the way you say both because that doesn't... Then people can relate
Well,
to
for
either
dumb
word.
people like me, I don't know that Apple Podcast is a thing yet. I just think of it as iTunes.
Well, then you'll go to iTunes
That's
and...
the podcast section of iTunes, people.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks for that clarification.
I feel like I need to do that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for myself.
Okay. Good. Take a deep breath. And we're going to go out on a song by Davy Davis called How Did Your Neck Get So Red? And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Your face ought to be red with a neck that looks like that. Looks like your mind was born on a one-way track. You got no use for the gays or the blacks or the Jews. You got no room for another point of view. You can't hide that neck under a suit and tie, nor a big dose of the homeland or a piece of apple pie. Rednecks come dressed many different ways. Those cowboy boots and corporate roots aren't always what they say. And the smile is deceiving as it tries to hide the fear. You're up to your neck in a language that isn't spoken here. How did your neck get so red? Was it something early on that your daddy said? How did your mind get so closed? Did you eat too much dogma? Then your brain up and froze. Why don't you open up your heart instead? How come you can't? How did your neck get so red? How did your neck get so red? thought of a woman president, nor gay for that matter in the Oval Residence. You got one religion, to hell with Islam and Buddha, lump them all together, feed the barracudas. Red looks better on white, though any color will do. Your enemy has landed, your enemy is you. How did your neck get so red? Was it something early on that your daddy said? How did your mind get so closed? Did you eat too much dogma? Then your brain up and froze. Why don't you open up your heart instead? How come you can't? How did your neck get so red? How did your neck get so red? So red.